I invited you to our Polish biotech world. Once again, thank you.
Let's now see the presentation of Mabion Dirk Kreder. Dirk Kreder has extensive experience and a wide network of contacts in the pharmaceutical and biotechnology industry, strong business awareness and experience in managing small and large pharmaceutical companies in Europe and in the United States. He contributed to the development and registration of biosimilar and generic drugs in United States, European Union, Canada, Australia, Japan, and other markets. Has over 10 years of experience in the development and commercialization of over 20 drugs. Let's now see the presentation of Mabion Dirk Kreder.
Mabion is an integrated EU biotech company specializing in biosimilar drug development. The dynamic development of Mabion provided the opportunity for global cooperation with the most advanced biopharmaceutical and biotechnological companies. Among its associates, shareholders, and financing partners, there are companies from all over Europe. Our philosophy is to create biosimilar products that reflect identity, purity, biological activity, and the stability of any reference drug. Mabion has the ability to implement innovative processes from early clone selection to the final drug product. By using state-of-the-art lab-scale equipment, experience in process scaling, and quality-by-design approach, our R&D team is able to develop a robust production process. We focus on patient safety from the very beginning, starting with our clean room arrangement, environmental control systems, and process design. We ensure compliance with GMP regulations and a proper quality which anyone would expect and deserve. Single-use sterile and fully closed systems are the core of our high-tech production line for monoclonal antibodies. Orbital shaking-based bioreactors allow to assure consistent, well-controlled cell culture conditions. Our aim is to use cutting-edge technology in order to ensure sustainable development and low-emission policy. We always pay attention to watchful real-time environments, process, and product monitoring on a daily basis. We are ready for extraordinary challenges. Our facility has been designed to optimize both the process flow and the documentation flow. We do our utmost to provide safe products by a robust control strategy and strong focus on hygienic aspects. This maintains our developments in continuous GMP accordance, which is confirmed by GMP certification from the very beginning of the operations of both of our facilities. Quality control at Mabion is an uninterrupted process, confirming compliance with the specifications of the manufactured drug at all stages of development and production. What really makes a difference is our devotion to improved safety procedures. We take into account the efficacy and consistency of those procedures at the same time. It's not the number of products that matters. It is rather the strong focus on the quality of the chosen few. It is in Mabion's DNA to search for the unknown, what's seemingly unachievable, what is novel, and what needs discovery. Our foremost goal is to ensure equal access to biological drug therapies. Mabion, inspired by life.
Hello everyone and welcome to Mabion's corporate presentation. Before we begin, just a quick note about forward-looking statements. This presentation does include a few forward-looking statements. We, of course, believe them to be most accurate at this time, but results may vary in the future. But let's move on to the presentation. Quick table of contents. I'll take you now through the corporate background, some key technologies, our product pipeline, existing alliances, and the ones which we are seeking to find. A quick snapshot about Mabion. As you've seen in the movie, Mabion develops and manufactures biologics, both late-stage biosimilar products as well as novel biopharmaceuticals. The company leverages its fully integrated GMP-certified manufacturing facility, in which we can manufacture 2,500-liter batches of the highest quality monoclonal antibodies. We already have a partnership with Mylan, which is a global biopharmaceutical company developed for the development of our lead candidate, Mabion CD20. Mabion CD20 is a rituximab biosimilar monoclonal antibody used for treatment of blood cancers, rheumatoid arthritis, and potentially other additional indications. In addition to developing of the indications, as I mentioned just above, we are also looking at indications for rare diseases, as well as Mabion is striving to support some novel approaches to combat the COVID-19 pandemic. Our company employs a dynamic team of over 200 employees, experienced in their profession, and also with a strong scientific and organizational support from our founders. So a bit about history of Mabion. The company was established as a greenfield in 2007 at the Scientific Industrial Complex in Łódź, Poland. Mabion is one of the first Polish-based bio companies to successfully develop and manufacture a biosimilar drug. Our lead product is CD20. The CD20 is biosimilar to rituximab, which is a monoclonal antibody drug, a protein with the ability to significantly bind to cancer cells. It is used in treatment of blood cancers and rheumatoid arthritis, as well as some other indications. The product is manufactured in a complex biotechnological process, including a bioreactor cell culture and multiple purification steps to obtain the final sterile drug in a form of solution for infusion. Now, about our CEO, who he wishes to be here today, but unfortunately he cannot. So Dirk Kredder has an extensive, deep roots and network in the pharmaceutical biotech industry, with such companies as Novartis, Roche, Amgen, and Sandoz. In fact, at Sandoz, Dirk was the first one to commercialize and develop a biosimilar in Europe called Omnitrope, along with several other generics and biosimilars on other regulated markets. He has more than 20 years' experience in the industry. The management team is also supported by Sławomir Jaros, as well as Grzegorz Grabowicz, and myself. Sławomir Jaros is an expert in development of recombinant proteins and vaccines, and has a broad experience in biopharmaceuticals. Grzegorz Grabowicz, our CFO, is a certified auditor and has experience in such companies such as Deloitte. I have also joined the management team as a delegate from the supervisory board, with my background being in private equity with over 22 years in experience. Now, about Mabion and our core competences, as I've mentioned before, we are focused on biosimilars, but in addition to this, we are also exploring orphan drug program for our CD20, and also COVID response projects based on developing both vaccines and therapeutics. I'll talk about these later in the presentation. We have integrated capabilities within Mabion. So not only are we able to provide R&D capabilities as well as manufacturing, we can also provide clinical trial capabilities and registration of the product. So let me talk about these in detail for the next slides. Our R&D capabilities include upstream and downstream process development, process scale-up and characteristics, analytical method developments and validation, comparability and similarity assessments, and clinical sample analysis. Next, our manufacturing capabilities are based on a state-of-the-art GMP-certified and fully integrated manufacturing facility based in central Poland. We have two large 2,500-liter bioreactors, in addition to two smaller-sized 250-liter bioreactors as our current capacity, with possibility of extension. Our clinical trial capabilities include clinical analytics, sample logistics, and immunometric assay formats. And finally, our registration capabilities we can leverage our extensive experience through the whole process, starting from file application, regulatory review, scientific review, all the way to the final decision on approval. Now back to our current product pipeline. Our main product is Mabion CD20, and we have three therapeutic areas, in fact, which we are focusing on. First being the autoimmunology and oncology area for the rituximab biosimilar. We are partnered with Mylan for the European market. I'll talk about that in a few minutes. And we are currently seeking partnerships for the US market and other rest of the world markets for the rituximab biosimilar. In addition to the biosimilar, our Mabion CD20 we are now exploring new novel indications, and we have some initial partnerships in place and are seeking other partnerships. The CD20 project has been in development since the beginning of the company's history. As we've developed the product itself, the company has also been growing in know-how, learning, and the asset base. The development process started in 2009 with laboratory scale development. Then we proceeded to clinical and 500-liter clinical manufacturing scale batches. In the meantime, we ran clinical trials, and in 2016, we transferred the technology to a larger, more commercial size scale. We are now in our final stages to bringing the product to full development and registration. As this map indicates, the dark blue colors are places where we already have partnerships in place, with Mylan being our main partner. And for the orange countries, this is where we are seeking further partnerships for our CD20 project. About Mylan, as you may have known, it is a global pharmaceutical company with a portfolio of more than 7,500 products, including biosimilars. The products are available throughout the world in 165 countries, and the company has more than 40 manufacturing facilities and 12 R&D centers worldwide with 35,000 employees. Mylan has exclusive commercialization rights for Mabion CD20 in all of EU and also non-EU Balkan countries. Mylan supports us in our application for the marketing authorization at EMA, and we seek to finalize this application in the coming quarters. Collaboration includes upfront milestone and royalty payments. Now about our potential collaborations. These are early stage partnerships under LOI. I will talk about the first one in the next slide in more detail. It's for the vaccine project for COVID-19. The other COVID-19 project which we have now undertaken in its early stages, also under LOI, is a development of a drug candidate for respiratory disease syndrome and cytokine release syndrome. Mabion can contribute to this partnership and biopharmaceutical CMC development and GMP manufacturing facilities. And lastly, our most current partnership, which is just under its also early stage LOI, we have now teamed up with a company out of Israel to possibly identify and develop CD20, our main product, for new indications in rare autoimmune disease areas. Mabion has development manufacturing capacity and processes in place to be able to co-develop this product. About our vaccine project, we have teamed up with a company out of Australia named Vaccine to potentially develop and collaborate in development of a vaccine for COVID-19. This vaccine is based on recombinant insect cell proteins, spike proteins, which is something that Mabion also has experience in. The vaccine right now is in phase 1 clinical trials. We expect the first results to be available in November. Mabion is striving to become the exclusive partner for European markets to manufacture and distribute this vaccine. So the blueprint for cooperation with Mabion, we are open to CDMO cooperations. We have an experienced team of scientists in areas of biotechnology, molecular biology, and chemistry. We do have short-term solutions available. We have immediate capacity available. We can take on accountability and integrity to the projects, and we do have a GMP-certified high-standard process in place. The three areas or opportunities of alliances which we have now is firstly and foremostly, we are seeking an alliance for the US market to develop the Mabion CD20 biosimilar in both RA and oncology indications. We are also seeking potential collaboration with vaccine. We are seeking a government partnership for the potential collaboration with vaccine to commercialize and market the product within the European Union and Poland. And together with our potential collaboration partner, we are seeking funding for the partnership supporting the development of the antibody therapeutic for the CD19 related ARDS and CRS indications. So in summary, the key highlights for Mabion. Mabion is a fully integrated biopharmaceutical company with development, production capabilities and available capacity right now. Our focus is on development and production of biosimilars, but our knowledge and assets can be applied to other projects outside of biosimilar portfolio. We are open to CDMO partnerships with short-term solutions and capacity, and where capacity is needed immediately. We seek funding to accelerate the development and production of both vaccines and novel therapeutics that can potentially address the ongoing pandemic. And that's it. So thank you very much for listening.